everyone. So today we will be interviewing a very special guest. Her name is Camille, and she will be opening up about her mental health struggles. And hopefully, through this interview, through this call, we will be able to understand better the people who are struggling with their mental health and learn how to show consideration and how to support them better. So, this also may be a very sensitive topic for some people. So, if you do not feel comfortable with today's topic, please, please, please do not hesitate to click off the video. Thank you.
Hi.
Hi, Camille. Thank you so much for agreeing to this interview. So, how are
No
you
worries.
today?
I'm good. I just finished my 9-hour work shift. My work starts early, so I finish off early also.
That's great. I hope you're not too tired for this
No,
interview.
I'm not.
Okay, to start us off, would it be okay to tell us a bit about yourself, your age, and what you do?
Okay, I'm Camille, but people used to call me Cam or Cami. I'm currently a digital producer for a digital marketing agency based in Australia. And I worked for them very recently, but my line of work has been into advertising and digital marketing ever since. I'm 28 years old from Laguna.
Oh wow, same. Okay. Now that we have a bit more information about you, would it be okay to get started with the interview?
Sure.
Yeah, okay. So firstly, what type of mental illness did you struggle with, and could you briefly explain it?
Okay, when I was 14, I can remember that my aunt noticed that there's something's not right with me. It's not just the typical like the puberty stage where all the teenagers have this emotional, uncontrollable emotions. Some of them, the puberty stage is very complicated, but she noticed that there's something different about me. So she asked for my mom if we can go see her friend who is a psychologist. So back then, I was diagnosed with depression.
Okay, so would it be okay to ask like what do you think may have caused your depression? Was it one big event or multiple small events that accumulated through time?
Actually, when I was diagnosed back then, it was with a psychologist, so it wasn't really mentioned, or the trigger wasn't really digged upon on. It was just recently when I had the relapse when I was, I think, 18 years old, that I was asked to see a psychiatrist for medication. But back then, I was taking medications as young as 14. But it was that time when I had to speak to a psychiatrist, and then we had to get to the root cause of my depression, or what caused my depression. So it was, I think it's an open statement for those who know me, or an open story, that I have a broken family. My parents separated when I was 2 or 3, I think, and I was under the care of my grandparents. But I always see my mom, but my dad, I don't see him fairly much when I was a kid. But I know they were supporting me back then through my studies. My dad would always see me as a kid during my birthdays, on special occasions. They were both supportive. But then I don't think that it was normal to have a broken family. So that triggered to something that, the fantasy of having this happy family, of the fairy tale concept of having a happily ever after. So I think I was seeking for love. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not sure. Well, reminiscing now, it's funny for me to recall everything, but it was that moment when I also realized that I was actually looking for love, because I don't have that. I don't have a happy family like most of my classmates will do. every time every time we have a school program or any family activities, I don't have one with me. Well, my grandparents are there, but they're not, able
Mhm.
enough to join all the activities and all the fun. So I think the main cause was having a broken family. And then I got a boyfriend as young as 14. And well, I'm laughing at it now because I thought that was my forever. Like, I believe in the concept that as young as 14, I can find someone who will, like, love me and have a family with. So it was then that this guy broke up with me and I think this guy went for my best friend. So that's like a double betrayal for me that triggered so much. I think that was the biggest trigger and why my aunt sent me to see a psychologist because I didn't act like it was okay. I was so devastated. I don't want to go to school. Like I was so heartbroken that my then boyfriend and my best friend actually betrayed me. So I had trust issues. Um, yeah, I think that was just I I think that was just it.
That's so tough going through it as a child. Wow.
I
Did
know.
yeah, did you notice that you weren't just the normal sad, or was it you just noticed when your aunt told you that you have to see a professional?
I didn't notice that it was not normal. I mean, I thought I was just sad. I would just cry at night. Like I would think, why my parents didn't end up. Why don't I get the love I wanted because of the fairy tale concept that I have as a kid? And I think most of the relapse were all triggered by a broken heart. So I got cheated every single time in the relationship. And I think now, I believe that I had issues with myself. That's why they were leaving me. I mean, I'm not good friends with them. I'm very civil with them now, but before I would blame them because they would leave me. But now I think I've also grown and I've also matured to think that maybe I was causing the problem because it's a consistent and it's repeatedly happening to me over and over again. And I don't want to fall back on the same, I fall in love and then I get my heart broken and then I get depressed over and over again. So I got tired of that cycle.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's great that you've like learned through everything, because going through depression is hard, and to come out stronger, that's just wow, amazing. Um, a lot of people are curious what it's like to have depression. Also me, because I actually don't like, I hear the stereotypes, but how does it really change your life in a way is my question.
So, having depression, I don't feel like I have lived a life without it. I mean, it's hard to think, and it's sad to think with that statement that I think I haven't lived a normal life. I think I've lived it ever since I was born, but I don't realize that I have it. It's just that I think I can share what my psychiatrist told me. It's like a flu inside our body, and it gets triggered every time we are triggered like by certain events or like certain scenarios. So it's like it's in my body already, it's in my system, and there is no cure. I'm just waiting for it to appear. So what we can do is to have preventive measures such as proper mind setting and well, as cliche as it sounds, it thinking positive, thinking of all the goodness you have in life. So with the depression that I felt, if every time I feel or every time I'm in that episode, I feel like I want to kill myself. I'm sorry if this video is gonna trigger someone who's gonna watch this, but that's what I felt every time I feel depressed. Like I want to kill my life. I want to end my life. I want to kill myself. I want to drown myself. And maybe that's also why my aunt and my parents got so how do you call this? they were so concerned about me because I was thinking of those things. Like I would not eat. I would try to overdose myself with a lot of medicines, like even the prescriptions my psychiatrist gave me. I would try to hide it inside my tongue, and then I would like throw it, spit it out, and then I would take them all at once, just so I get overdosed. And then what else? Sometimes I don't want to talk to people, and then I would just curl up in a ball in my bed. And even at work, and when I had relapse, um, sometimes I would not get up at work. I would just, ignore everything, like put my career at risk, like without telling anyone, like my boss or anyone. I won't just answer calls. But then, as time passed, I think I got better at it now because having a support system like your family or like your best friends, it just really helps more than just the prescriptions that I have.
Yeah, that's very amazing and good to hear that you're still so strong right now. Wow, that's so hard. Um, Speaking of people, did you tell them or did they just find out like from your family? You're the one who told them?
Mhm. So with my family at first, I have a close relationship with my extended family, like with my mom's side. So I think we all lived at the same house in the same house for a moment or so. So they knew everything about me, and they would not give me like any special treatment. Like they wouldn't scold at me or like just be try to patronize me or whatever I like. So it's just like normal. Like they didn't know I have depression. But when it comes to academics, like when I was in college, that was like 2012 to 2015 or 2009 to 2015. Back then, the awareness for mental health isn't that big enough, or they don't know anything about it. So I hid it from them.
Mhm.
But with my best friend, she knows. But most of my classmates, like my teachers, I don't tell anyone because I'm ashamed of it. Like they won't understand because at first the stigma is you're crazy, you're mentally crazy, you're mentally ill, or they would just think that it's all in your mind, you're just creating a scenario out of it, or you're just too dramatic. So with those stigma before, I wouldn't share it with anyone. But then when I had a relapse back in college, I had to drop out a semester. So my mom had to tell my professors, and then I don't know when I came back, my classmates started gossiping about me, like I was crazy. So back then I was so ashamed. I was so scared that people would find out. And when it comes to relationships, I'm very open about it. Like, don't date me if you don't accept I have this condition. Like, it's a non-negotiable for me. And at first, I mean, those guys would just say, "Yes, I understand. Yes, I can handle your depression." But when they're experiencing it, I can see and I can tell that they don't because they don't fully understand having a mental health issue. So they would just, leave me behind or like leave me hanging or just talk bad about me like I'm crazy. I mean, that's the common stigma. Like depression is like you're just crazy or you're just too dramatic.
Yes. Even now in my school, it goes around like that, and we're really trying to destigmatize because it's
I
very
know.
normal and it's very common. So, speaking of stigma, did going to a psychiatrist or a psychologist scare you at all? Because I know a lot of people don't want to go because it's scary, and
Mhm.
yeah, yeah. So, were you scared at all?
No, I actually love going to my psychiatrist. I like seeing him. Well, I had a lot of doctors. The one was when I was 14. She was a psychologist. She was very very good. She's like having a best friend, but more of like a professional way. But then when I have to see a psychiatrist, it doesn't bother me at all. I fully believe that that person understands me, even though sometimes I would say how I feel. Of course, they would tell something positive about it, but if you're in that episode, you won't take any word for it. Like you're not gonna listen to them. You're just gonna show them off. But you can see. I mean, with my doctor, I'm very thankful that he is my doctor. He is very supportive. He would, talk to me like I'm normal. He wouldn't treat me like, or you just have to drink this, or you just have to do that, do this, do that. He was actually setting and building me to have a plan for my life. When I was feeling down, when I was on the verge of giving up and actually killing myself, he just told me that I have to set up a plan, and that was my assignment. So every time I would see him, I would talk about the plan that I built with him, and that also started having a blog because I've always wanted to have a blog, and then that ticked the list because he wanted me to do something that I really really want, regardless of any like financial matters or any, just do something. Like even if you're not good at it, just do something. So I did it, and I'm still blogging even even if it's not relevant anymore. So me I started that blog, and it became my outlet. Like I don't mind if people's gonna read it. But then my family, they're very conservative, so they don't want me to share those stuff, like something personal or like any personal stuff about me. They don't want it. But I just followed my doctor. I just write how I feel, even if I'm not good in writing, like even if it's grammatically incorrect, or I just don't care. I just write it all out. And then that blog, from a personal blog, it became like a personal lifestyle blog. Like I I made money out of it, and I got sponsorships, I got collaboration. So I think that is the one thing that I wouldn't let go. Like even if it's not relevant anymore. Like even if the vloggers are now vloggers
Mhm.
because for money or to get famous, but for me it's just because of passion. So I want to let go of that.
Wow, that's so reassuring to hear because I know a lot of like horror stories of people going to psychiatrists and people getting turned off to go because they're scared to get judged. But it's great to hear that there are people who, wow, your passion is so, that's amazing. Would you like to share your blog for the people
It's
who are listening?
CamilleAldrian.com. So my name is hard to spell out. So I'm not sure if people's gonna get it, but it's CamilleAldrian.com.
Okay, I'll check it out for sure later.
Thank you.
Uh, how are you doing now though? Like in with your mental health and all that? Is it
um, so with the last, or I can't really remember when's the exact um date that I stopped seeing my psychiatrist, but it always happened on my birthday. Like every time I celebrate my birthday, that's the end of seeing my psychiatrist, and that's a good thing because that's like a birthday gift for me. Like for going through all of those, and I'm finally free out of prescription. So um, I think from the last relapse that I had, of course, the hopeful and the hopeless romantic in me, I would always start dating. I would always start, meeting other people. Like my hopes are really up. Like even if I got betrayed or like got my heart broken a lot of times, I would still hope for that. And then so what I did was I read books. I continue with my passion, And then that helped me to grow and understand myself better. Like I told, actually, I didn't tell myself, but I stopped dating for a while and I focused on myself. Like I started reading books, I go out shopping for myself, I I try to travel, I try to watch cinema, eat out alone, like doing all the self-care stuff that you see online. Like just do nothing. That really helped me to be okay. But sometimes I get anxious about work or about when I got stressed, but that doesn't bother me as much as I do before. I think really self care really works. Like even if I got my heart broken, even if I got ghosted, or like
Mm-hmm.
all of those guys were like so mean. I mean, I'm okay. I don't think of killing myself anymore. I don't think of any bad thoughts. Like sometimes I would feel discouraged. I would feel maybe I should stop doing this. Maybe I should stop writing my blog. Maybe I should stop pursuing this career anymore in advertising. Maybe I should just, you know, do something like I don't really want to do just because I need to earn money and stuff. So I think I'm better compared before because now um, I would say I regret all the things that I did and all the past that I had, but all those mistakes helped me to realize that I can be better. I mean, there's always second chance. Like a lot of chances in life. And those people who think of me who I was before, like if they think that I'm still mentally challenged or mentally ill, if they think I'm crazy, to all those people that I've hurt and I've done bad with just because I have depression and it hurt them, or I acted weird, or I acted bad about it. I actually I just take a grain of salt and I just shove them off because I don't need them in my life. I what I have to do is focus on myself because that really helps. Like even if there are a lot of people who would say bad things about you or who will bash you online, who would just shove you off, I would just cut them off my life because I think I don't need them. And you just have to be strong because anyway, all you have is yourself. I mean, your family will be, they will all have priorities, even if even your best friends will have priorities, your coworkers, your boyfriend or your partner. They all have the same life of their own without you. So you just have to, help yourself.
Yeah, I think that's great. That's what I aspire to do because it's easier said than done to put yourself
I
first.
know. I know it's really really hard. It takes a lot of effort and
Mhm.
a lot of motivation for yourself, especially when you feel down and when you have depression and you're in that episode. You wouldn't feel that way. You would just be hopeless. But if you have trained your mind and just do the process, it would be easier.
Mhm. So, speaking of like the outside world and like just toning them all off, what are your thoughts on how it's being like mental illness, how it's being viewed now? Is it like better compared to when you were going through it, or is it still not there, like the acceptance?
I think it's better now that people are actually talking about it. But what I don't like also is that sometimes when you feel, sometimes those people posting online about how they feel, I mean, um, there's no judgment, but also you just have to check yourself and don't self-proclaim. Just because you feel bad, just because you feel sad, doesn't mean you have depression instantly unless you have yourself checked. So that's why it's important to get yourself checked. And even if you feel that there's something wrong about yourself, um, I know writing and, like my blog is like a form of their outlet, and people do on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. I think it's better if you get a support system, not just posting. I mean, posting helps because it's a way of release of negativity, of your emotions. But um, I just don't like when people self-proclaim,
Yeah.
because as much as I want to help them out, like I want to reach out, um, I don't want to judge, but I can't help to like judge them and give help or advice, um, just because they feel like something's not wrong with them, or they just self proclaiming it. I think the best thing that they can do is um, get professional help. I mean, there are a lot of quizzes, online quizzes, if you feel this way, that way, but maybe it's just training their minds, or it's like mind setting na you have this, you have something like this, or maybe it's just the media who's just exaggerating that when you feel like this, you're automatically depressed. If you feel like this, you're automatically bipolar, or you're automatically alcoholic. So it doesn't work that way. I believe in science, in studies like that. So best is to get checked and read, um, educational books, or like the trusted websites that they can see, because there are if they don't have, well, I have seen some people that they're not financially capable of having them getting themselves checked by a professional. So there are a lot of government and non-government organizations who are offering services like that. Like if you need to talk to someone, you can just call their hotline, or there are a lot of organizations offering their mental health services for free. So I think they just have to grab that opportunity. But lastly, I don't really mind if those people like would post. I just want them to get professional help, because that will help them so much.
Mhm. Self-diagnosing is very dangerous, not just for yourself, but also for the community that you're affecting. Because some people, they're like, oh, something's not like clean. They're gonna be like, I'm so OCD, when that's not the case. Because like OCD is very extremely hard to deal with, or
Yes.
it's harmful for the community of people suffering as well. So I
Mm-hmm.
completely agree.
Oh,
um
also, just to add, some of them are trying to get attention, especially some people. Well, I know it's mean to say, but they wanted to get attention. They wanted to get viral of doing something, so they would just proclaim that they are, mentally ill, just to get the perks, just to get discounts, because people, or because they want to be treated in a different way, or in a special way. So I hope they don't use that as an excuse or as a card to get themselves free, or like if they do something bad, they would just say, "Oh, sorry, I'm just depressed." So I hope, and that also makes the reputation of those people with mental health issues bad, because when you don't have it and then you proclaim that you have it, and then you're just overly dramatic, you're just making those people who have mental health issues worse. They're just contributing bad rep for us.
Mhm. I completely agree. So lastly, for people struggling with the same thing or something similar as you, is there anything you can say or advice you could give?
I'm actually not an expert to go to, but most of my friends or those acquaintances, well, even those Facebook friends or like online friends, just because I openly talk about it, they would ask for my help or like advice. So, number one would be um, maybe just like what my doctor told me, just do something, even if it's little. Like first thing you can do in the morning, if you don't feel like doing anything, just lay down.
Mhm.
And if you don't feel like you're good enough, just go drink water and you feel refreshed. it's just those little things. You don't have to do something big, like for myself, like start a blog or like do or travel if you don't have the capabilities. It's the little thing that matters. If you don't feel like talking to anyone, just write it down. Or if you don't feel like someone, or if you feel like someone's gonna judge you for talking about it, it's easily best if you talk to strangers, because those strangers don't matter in your life anyway. They're just there to listen, and it's good if you become friends with them. You just have to let it out, no matter what way.
Mhm.
Not the bad ones. don't try to like don't try to like do something bad about yourself. Just, you know, try to do something, even if just breathing.
Yeah.
It really helps.
That's actually really great advice, and I haven't heard most like the little things that completely like went over my head. And I think it's very important to keep everything you said in mind. And yes, I think this concludes our interview for today. Thank you so much.
Yay!
I learned so much from you, and I'm sure the people who are going to watch this are going to learn so much as well. So thank
Thank
you
you.
so
I hope they
much.
do.
Thank you so much. I hope you have a great day today, a great week, a great month. So that concludes our video for today. I'd like to thank Camille once again for agreeing to this interview. And for those of you who watched till the end, I hope that you were able to get something from this interview with Camille, because it was very, very helpful. And I hope that you were able to take something from her story, no matter how small it was. And yes, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.